YouTube, what is happening? Ricardo the Barber here. We got another video of my buddy Willie. He's getting a 5 on top, ball fade on the sides, medium. It's a medium ball fade, so we're gonna keep it around the center of his head. And this guy gets his hair cut quite often. As you can see, there's not much to take off. Even his sides are pretty close. It's about a half guard on the sides at the moment. So, you know, he likes his haircuts, but I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the top of the hair with the 5 guard closed. And then I'm gonna go straight into making my bald guideline here. I'm gonna do my bald guideline twice because I got 2 pairs of, I got the 5-0 blade on this, which cuts very low, but I also have the Babyliss skeleton trimmers, which cut super low. So to be able to blend my clippers into that super low Babyliss trimmers, I want to use these first, so this way, I don't have a hard time knocking that last guideline out. So here I am making a little 1/4 inch guideline with this. And I'm going to go ahead and shave the rest of the hair using my actual trimmers, which cut super, super low. Work your way around the head, try to get all the hair cut down nice and evenly. Go back over any hairs that you might have missed. Sometimes your trimmers or whatever clippers you use don't necessarily grab every single piece of hair, so you do have to go over it a couple times, but be sure to get everything down all to the same length. Now, using those trimmers, since it cuts the hair real low, it makes easy work when I go in there with the electric shaver and bald it out. Now here you see me touching the actual direction the hair grows in, so this way I know I'm cutting against the grain. So this way when I'm actually using the electric shaver, it's cutting the hair all off, 100% off. So now I take my Auster Fast Feeds and I have the blade open. I'm gonna go ahead and make an inch guideline all the way around the head. After that's complete, I use my number 1 guard, and you see me open it all the way to its highest length, and that's going to be a 1.5, considered a 1.5. I'm going to go ahead and make another 1 inch band around the head. So here I got a 4 guard. I'm going to start with it closed, and I'm just going to knock the hair down some at the top of his head, and we're going to start blending the long hair into the 1.5. using every guard in between. So now I have the 3, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and close it and keep fading into the long hair until the lines start disappearing. Now I have my number 2 guard closed, and I should pretty much knock that line out where the 1.5 guard was. Once you have that completed, throw your 0 guard on there, which is your 1/16, and open it up. Now you're going to blend the inch from the 1.5 down to the 1/2, and it's going to start disappearing as you close your lever. So once I fade it down a little bit, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to close my lever halfway, like this. And I'm going to start blending a little bit more. You see the line starting to go away now. When that looks pretty good, you close the clipper all the way, and that should take out the rest of that line. Right, so now we're taking the guard off and we're closing the clipper, the bare clipper, halfway, and we're going to repeat the same steps. Now I'm going to close it a little more, not fully, just open it up a little bit. Start blending downwards. Last step, close it all the way, and you should be able to erase that last line that is there at the bottom of the fade. Open and close your clipper for any kind of, spots that you see that aren't fully blended, and blend them down just using your feel and listening to the clippers and how much hair they're cutting, and use your visuals and see how it's looking as a whole while you're doing it, and make any kind of corrections as needed right now. Alright, the other side in the back, you're going to repeat the same steps, so I'm going to play this in fast forward for you. right here, I like to use my freehand clipper work to knock out any little imperfections I see where the actual hair goes from short to long, and sometimes you'll have hair sticking up, and this is a technique where you can get somebody's hair to actually look close to perfect just by doing a quick little extra method that, you know, makes the hair look better, very minimally, but it will. So if you actually do a good job here, you can get the haircut to look very clean and have a nice shape. So that's why I do this. Now that the fade's all finished and it's all cleaned up, I'm gonna go ahead and hit his forehead very lightly with my trimmers. I'm just going in on a 90-degree angle, and I'm just kind of lightly tapping any kind of extra hairs that are hanging down on his head. His forehead hair is actually a little bit light toward the corners, but we don't worry about that. For this exact haircut, we're not doing any kind of enhancements. We're not doing any kind of fibers or you know, spray dyes or anything like that. He just likes the natural look, and as long as the fade is good, that's his biggest worry. So when you make the client happy and you give them what they want, you look for things like that on what makes them happy. So in his case, I just got to make sure the fade's on point, his hairline could be natural, and he's good. So just pay attention to what they want and give it to him. Here I got my blades that I like to use, Dorco primes, and I also like to use feathers. So quick little tip: break them in half while they're in the package, rip them apart, and then load them up into your straight razor. Here I have a Black Widow straight razor, one of my favorite brands. They typically sponsor some of my videos. So the reason I made some videos sometimes is because of them, so I give them a big shout out. Now you can see the blade is securely in the holder, and we're ready to shave this dude up. Start by stretching the skin and going against the grain for the sharpest, longest lasting look. You know, you come up to your line and then you stop. You make nice short strokes. Try to keep the blade at a nice low angle, and just take it very easy, a little bit at a time, and you'll find that everything comes out nice and sharp. And right here I like to use one little part of the actual blade. This way I can really get in there and do some fine detail work. Repeat the same steps on the other side. And here we are with the finished cut. Came out pretty fresh, just a nice fade. Again, my client's happy, he got what he wanted. And I hope you guys hope you guys learned something. Please comment, like, and share. I look forward to any kind of feedback. And I look to see you guys next time on the next video. So peace out.
I know him for many years. How long has it been?
At least 10.
10 years.
10 years, yeah, just like that. Goes by in a blink of an eye.
Yep. And guess what? It's the same cut from 10 years ago. Same style. Well, actually 8 years ago, because I never got into it until 2 years after I know you, right?
Yep, yeah.
But
I don't know what you were thinking.
yeah, me neither now that I'm thinking about it. But, you know, over the years, you know, you do good in life and you do bad in life. So the same $20 haircut that I was paying, and now that I'm doing better, I'm paying him $100 every 3 days that I come back for. So in a way, you know, it's a friendship. You know, you're doing well, you want your buddy, your barber, to do well too. You know, I'm sure you know, being a barber, you build relationships. So everybody becomes your family, your friend, and when they do well, you know, they want you to do well too. So
YouTube, what's up? Listen, this video is not about who makes the most money who gives the best haircut. It's about kind of being true to yourself, sticking to the basics, understanding that just because you're flashy on Instagram, you're getting all these likes. That's not exactly what the barbering industry is about. Just because you don't have these crazy pictures and these perfect haircuts online, doesn't mean you're not killing it behind the scene. So I just wanted to reiterate, this guy that I know is my good friend, Willie. He's been coming to me for 10 years, as he stated. He didn't even get a cut from me for the first 2 years because he was going to this lady that he knew, and his hair was crazy. So when he came to me, he's like, "Oh, I want you to cut my hair," and I'm like, "That haircut you get? I don't know how to do that." Like, that's some special kind of diamond shaped stuff going on. I don't even know. But I was nervous at the time. I was young, and either way, I ended up giving him a fade with a 5 on top, bald on the sides, medium fade, and he liked it. So back in the day, it was like $20. Like I said, 8 or 9 years ago, $20 every haircut, and he came every 3 or 4 days. So the first time I cut his hair, he was a customer, right? That's how I take it. First time I see you, you come to my studio the first time and I'm cutting your hair. One time, you're a customer. That day, you're gonna be my client. That's our job, to make you our client, right? So the second time you came, now you're locked in. If you're gonna be doing anything with your hair, you're gonna be dealing with me, right? That's how you gotta think. Now, all these years go by, next thing you know, 20, 30, 40, $50 a haircut. So now I'm cutting them whenever you want it. You give me $50. Yeah, I'll cut your hair at night. I'll cut your hair, early in the morning. The other day I cut his hair at 3 in the morning before I woke up for work. Because he's a client, right? So within the past year, he started paying me $100 every haircut. Now he comes every 3 to 4 days. All right, you gotta understand, that's anywhere from you're talking about 3 or 4 days, $700 or $800 a month for one client. All right. Now, reason being is, I make him feel comfortable when he's here. He loves getting his hair cut. He's not always around in Connecticut. He's typically in New York. I'm not telling you where. But that's part of you building up from the bottom. From the bottom, working your way up, making a customer a client and a long time client, and he's a friend, first and foremost. And the point I'm trying to make here is, you see what he gets for a haircut. He gets a 5 on top, skin fade on the sides. Anybody can do that. It's not something you're gonna see me take a picture of and post it on Instagram and get these 1,000 likes, 2,000 likes, because it's this fire haircut with this, crazy edited blend and all this enhancements. He gets a natural haircut. All right, you guys need to perform and perform a basic cut as good as you can before you start getting all crazy and thinking life's about these crazy pictures that are all perfect and half of them are edited. And the reason I'm saying this is because there's a lot of times I'll have somebody come and they'll bring a picture, this picture on Instagram. There's the haircut I want. I'm like, you can get that haircut, but it's not going to look exactly like you think it's going to look when you get it, because this is heavily edited. That's where I feel like the barber industry is trying to head, to these crazy pictures. And I'm just trying to let you guys know that when you're starting out, don't think that just because your haircut is half as nice as somebody who posted this perfect looking picture, that you're not a great barber. You are still a great barber, even if your actual picture comes out half as nice. You are still good. Again, half the stuff is edited, and that's cool. I love the way it looks. I got nothing against it. If I can make my haircuts look that cool and on Instagram, shit, show me how. Somebody show me how, just so I can mess around with it. All right. But in real life, the client knows what's best. All right. It's somebody who's just pressing that little heart button. They're not paying you for the haircut. All right. So this guy leaves the chair. Somebody in California might be like, "Oh, that cut sucks." Well, guess what? I get I get $800 from this one dude every month. That's on top of thousands that I already make. All right. I'm not here to brag. I'm not trying to say oh, I make this much, I'm better than you. I'm not. Look on Instagram, I got a few thousand followers. I don't have 250,000. YouTube, I used to do pretty decent on the videos. I'm still here, just not as much, 60,000, that's decent for YouTube. That's not like, I don't got one of those little silver buttons. That's my goal, but I don't have one. But again, stick to the basics, do what you gotta do. Don't worry about all this crazy shit going on the side. Just be true to yourself. Turn these customers into clients, because I was always told customers will buy you a coffee, clients will buy you a house. Remember that. All right, peace out, guys.